is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 3 of the RNG Russo and Goodwin show. I am Russo with my main man, Coach Trey. How are we doing today, dude?
Good, man. We're good. We're hanging in there. Obviously, we've got like literally one more week of this little off time. Dude, it feels, and you know what's weird is that I actually thought about this last year when we were doing the show, and I remember I was getting out the car for work, coming inside, getting set up. I'm like, man, it's so hot. Like because you think of football season and you think of the fall weather, dude, especially down here, big dog. It's not going to be breezy and 70 till Thanksgiving. It's like we've got we've got some real grime. But as it relates to the season getting started, man, we're getting started. We're
Dude,
close.
We're super close. Shout out Imagine 29. Man, Thursday nights, something about Thursday. You know, obviously football is
Big
played
Imagine guy.
Football is played on Thursdays towards the middle of the season, but like just what a day. Because Friday you're like just too amped, and with the day before, so what a time.
I'm excited, man. We're literally, I mean, today's the 14th. I mean, I don't even know if you've even thought about this, but you're quite literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days away from meaningful college football. A ranked Iowa State on the road at Kansas State. It's next Saturday.
I'm pumped. It's gonna be a fun time.
0. Thank God they started doing that.
Well, let's get into it, dude. We'll start off with LSU. Lots of buzz over, ever since practice started. Lots of buzz and several key areas of the team. So I'll lead it to you. What are you hearing? What's the buzz as of today? And I know you've got people, somewhat on the inside. So let's hear it.
The people streets, some might say. Honestly, man, it's all over. I mean, it's all over Twitter. So first of all, we're gonna try not to get into the keys to victory, quite yet. We kind of want to wait into keys to victory. We're gonna wait until actual, week 1, may even be a two episode week for week 1, just depending on how week 0 goes. There's a lot to break down, and I have a hard time believing that we're gonna be able to make one video with those big of games coming for week 1, because there's 3, maybe 4 that I'd really like to discuss. But a 10,000 foot view, if you're not under a rock, the first and only thing that everyone thinks would be spoken about the most at LSU is that defense. Brother, you would be wrong. Every time you pull up onto social media, it's O-line, BK's making kids run. The guards are, rotating. And I think, okay, so I want to be clear here, because you and I have discussed this till we're blue in the face off the camera. Just because there is a rotation of players at a position does not necessarily mean that you don't have a projected starter at the position. Does that make sense? Like you don't go into the portal and go head to head with Tennessee to get Josh Thompson for him to maybe not play. Now, granted, you did that maybe and I can't remember. You'd have to really remind me to think about what the kid's name was, but he came from like Tennessee Tech or something like that, and it was 4 or 5 years ago at this point. Maybe even more, maybe even less than that. I don't remember. But anyway, like you brought in like a grad transfer from a Division II level team, that kind of guy. Okay, like he's going to go head to head with a freshman or a red shirt, sophomore, or a red shirt freshman.
Talking about the quarterback?
No, it was a guard, and it was a guard that they brought in, and I forget his name. I can't remember his name. Somebody in the chat, if you remember, it was a guard. It was either left or right. And I want to tell you, he came from like Middle Tennessee or like Tennessee Tech or Tennessee State or something, one of those kinds of teams. And the kid, Tremont Shorts, his name was Tremont Shorts. Do you remember that name?
No.
Okay, we're gonna go off. We're gonna go off the beat. So Tremont Shorts, for those of you that don't remember, and this is just a perfect example of someone that you kind of went out and got and thought that he would be super good, and the kid didn't pan out. It's not to say that he wasn't good, but okay. So interior offensive line, 6'4", 320 from Hampton, Georgia, and the kid played at looks like Tennessee State. There it was. I knew it was. I wasn't tripping. So he basically played in 2022. So he was on the first Jaden Daniels team. Like BK's first year, they go in, they get the guard, doesn't pan out. Josh Thompson's not that variety. Like you do not go to the Big Ten, get a starter that saw that edge talent, and then you know what I mean? And so just because you're giving reps to other guys does not mean, first of all, it doesn't mean that Josh Thompson's 100% going to a plug and play and going to start. It also doesn't mean that Josh Thompson's going to gel in this offense, because I don't know if you knew this or not, but it's a different offense than he was running. So, but the guards have been rotating back and forth, and the T on the street is that out of the five, those are the two positions that are really sort of up for grabs being talked about. Braylon Moore is an anchor. Braylon Moore is going to be your center. God willing, something happens to him. Braylon Moore is going to be your center. You go and get him from Virginia Tech. The kid's as old as we are. The kid's seen a lot of college football. It's not, don't worry about him. You had Tyree Adams waiting in the wing, kind of as your swing guy last year. If anything went down to kind of, a stopgap at either tackle, luckily enough, you really didn't have any issue at tackle, so you never really saw Tyree Adams. Tyree Adams is going to be fine. He's going to be your left tackle. And then there's this Weston Davis thing that I think you might need to think about him a little bit like Emory Jones. Emory Jones took a minute or two to really get his feet under him last year as it relates to run blocking. And that was not really so much an Emory Jones thing. It was more of we're kind of so used to throwing the ball a lot thing. And I really just don't think that it benefited Emory. And he just didn't end up panning out to the degree that you would hope. He went in the third round. And again, a third round offensive lineman
was projected for most of the season to go first round too.
To go into the first, beginning of the second, and those top 40 picks. Right. And so again, would you take a third round draft pick at right tackle this year? I would.
Yeah.
I'll take that. But what I'm trying to say is that has been the talk. So the kid they got from Arkansas, Carius Kern, has been the talk. He does backflips. He runs like a 4.6. He's a freak. He's like 330 pounds. He's got like a old style, nasty neck roll type of mentality. And so when you have him and Paul Mubenga, and then DJ Chester moves from the center, goes over to left guard, and then you've got Cohen Eccles pushing Josh Thompson at the right guard, but then all of a sudden now Cohen Eccles is getting left guard work. Now people are starting to freak out that you all of a sudden you don't know who your O-line is going to be on when you hit Clemson. Okay, let me help you out. If you don't give kids real reps now, whether or not they are going to start or not, and whether or not DJ Chester plays left guard the first snap or not, I think he's going to. And I also think Josh Thompson is going to play right guard. I think that's how it's going to line up. If you don't give these kids reps, then their first reps are live bullets. Now,
against Clemson.
Against that D-line, who may be the best D-line, we don't know, but maybe one of the better D-lines you play all year, if it's not the best. Florida might have something to say about that, but we'll get into that in week 3. I don't mind this. Like, I don't mind that you have players pushing for spots. It would honestly freak me out a little bit if nobody was pushing anyone and you just had 5 brand new starters and that's all you had. Now, last year, you kind of expected it to be these 5. Like, these are going to be your 5 and that's it, because they had been there for so long. But when you're brand new and it's just these 5, that means you have 0 depth, and that freaks me out. So again, everyone calm down just a little bit. Something tells me that Brad Davis is going to figure out a way to get talent where it's supposed to be. Can we assume that?
Yeah, we can assume that. I think one of the big theories that's coming out of camp right now is kind of the inconsistency, and we'll get to the other skill positions soon, but the running game. is that a testament to how good the D line is going to be,
Right.
or is that kind of same things we were seeing last year? Different people can't run the ball. Play calling, like what's going on with that? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. I'm trying really hard to make this give and take so it doesn't seem as though this is just like postured in just nothing but a positive light, because after what I have a curl that was in my peripheral. If if we if you have seen game ones from LSU football over the last 5 years, literally what have you seen to make you think that I would come out and pump you sunshine? Literally nothing. like every year they've made me die a little bit more. Like every year I've died a little bit more on the inside.
There's been a different kind of feeling every week.
So every year, rather, right?
Every year, every year, yeah.
So as it relates to the running game, okay. So you get the news that JT Lindsey's obviously in a little bit of legal trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna miss maybe 35, 40 carries from JT Lindsey, brother. Like, I'm not saying you don't want that depth, but I'm saying that you've now got someone like Juwan Johnson, who apparently this coaching staff loves, and we will get into that here in just a minute. We are not going to get away from my thoughts on the Juwan Johnson thing. You've got a coaching staff that loves him. They love him. Like, they want to get him the ball. There is going
the red
to
zone's
be,
going to look crazy this year.
You
like,
are
even
going
with Van Buren.
Yes. And okay, so that's my point with the running game. Last year, you had Caden Durham, who literally wasn't healthy after game 3.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Like, he had a steel plate in his toe, and from the doctor that wears the polo, like when kids get injured on the field, and Dr. Bo comes out there with the nice, pretty socks and the brown loafers and such, and the slacks. That guy said 75% maybe last year on what he was able to give you, and he still went up for over 1,000 combined yards receiving and rushing. I am willing to bet that Caden Durham can give you, with a good healthy year, can he give you, instead of 700 and some change, can he give you 1,000? And instead of 200 and some change or 300 receiving yards, can he give you 500?
When's the last time LSU has gone the workhorse route, though?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, 2019.
When Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and before that,
Luga?
I would give you
Guys.
Tyrion Davis-Price.
Wouldn't put him on well, I'd have to go see his volume.
You know how many? Do you know how many touchdowns Noah Cain had in 2022?
Yeah, I think he had.
Dude, it was like 12.
Yeah, he would get all the goal line touches.
Dude, so what I'm saying is, can Caden Durham increase his his workload and give you 15%, 20% more? I think so. Not having to share it with Josh Williams. Now the question is, does Caleb Jackson figure it out?
We've always been raving about how good he looks.
He has to.
I think the thing that is going to be a major point to pay attention to is mainly the timeliness of the runs, right? I think there were so many bright spots in the rushing game last year, but it was not timely, if that makes sense. Like, it wasn't when you really needed it in games like Florida and Texas A&M in the second half. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and that a lot of that could be play calling, which hopefully gets cleaned up. But I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Hopefully, seeing some time, like better control of possessions, timely runs. Hopefully, the O-line can exceed that expectation this season, from my perspective.
It's incredibly difficult for me to say that I don't think that they can run. You got the number 1 running back recruit in the nation, and Harlem Berry, who is obviously more of a receiving back than a run between the tackles, and Caleb Jackson is the antithesis of that. So can you get enough out of the backfield The thing that we're hearing out of camp is that Caleb Jackson all of a sudden is getting receptions out of the backfield. And there was a couple of plays last year where Caleb Jackson gets these reception opportunities and he doesn't make them. And now all of a sudden you're dog cussing BK and Joe Sloan. Well, hold on now. Is that not an extension of the running game? Because in the same breath, you're getting pissed off that you're lining up in 3rd and 3 and you can't get 3 yards. But when you go to an extension of the running game, now you're dog cussing them for that. So you have to give these these kinds of offenses the ability to get yards the way that they can. Something tells me that Sloan knows more about offense than we do in college football. Now, granted, I don't think that you should have thrown the ball 59% of the time. That's a real figure, by the way. I think that should be closer to about 51, maybe 52. So you can't run, and we'll get into this at a different time, of course, but you can't run. You can't throw the ball 8 times, then all of a sudden you're 3rd and 4 and go, all right, let's get 4 yards. Let's put them in a phone booth. No, like how is that? Like they know that you're going to run the ball. So until and you know what else didn't help them is that you didn't have deep threats. They knew that you weren't going to blow them over the top. So you had the ability to crowd the box and even have one extra hat. So you already needed the help as an O-line that did not have this runner's mentality, because it was, we're going to run the ball. And then you get averagely decent gains of 1 and 2 yards. Then all of a sudden you don't run the ball again for 8 plays. And it's like, where the hell is the ball at? Like, why are we not running the pill? And that's not to say that you should rely on it, because obviously Garrett Nussmeier can throw that thing. But as you asked me the question, can Caden Durham give you 15% more? I think yes. But you have to stay committed to it. You cannot continue to just bail out and then go 5 wide. I can't stand it.
Agreed. No, I agree.
And that's not
a lot of that's play calling.
And that's not the offensive line's fault either. Not granted, you can't be hose. You got to get up there and put your hands up under someone's pits and let's move some folks. You feel me? Like, Caden Durham needs like this. He needs like this much space to get through. Maybe not even that much. He may only need like that much. Like
he's the projected leader. Obviously, this is off-brand, but like on the offshore site, he is the projected SEC rushing leader. And he's the favorite
at 8-1. That's great value. If you're steadfast on that's 8-1.
Now we'll get into offshore stuff at a later time,
right? But you brought up other skill positions. So do you? So
I want to talk about a little bit on the receivers and DBs.
Okay.
I want to talk about. I've seen some flashy plays just in clips from Xavion. I mean, someone that you weren't really talking about in the receiving game. I mean, he was obviously going to be one of your specialists on the special teams, but I've seen some impressive catches. Obviously, it's just practice, but is he making a push to consistently be in that rotation? It's tough. It's crowded. It's so crowded. That's the problem. It's so crowded.
I'm gonna give you a comparison. Are you ready for a comparison? Okay. Do you remember, and for those of you that are SEC fans, do you remember any player that comes to mind that you knew was good, but there were so many other good players around them that you just knew that if they went anywhere else, you would definitely be pissed off because they would absolutely be better on a different team? Like they would be the target on that team. Does any name come to mind for you?
LSU's whole DB room from like 2008 to 2015, probably.
So going from there to the other end of the ball is even worse because at DB, they rotate DBs out, and and I say college football teams rotate DBs all of the time. Go back to the 2019 LSU Alabama game.
I think I know where you're going.
Do you know where I'm going?
Receiver?
No. No.
Oh, I thought you were going with the receiver there.
No. So if you go back to the LSU Alabama game, I don't remember at what point in the quarter it was, but whenever, so they literally run a little rub out to the right, like a little out to the right, and Tua, dude, when I say Tua put the ball exactly where the big laugh guy, you knew the route was coming. It wasn't even likely drawn up, but he literally at the line looked at him and went, and you know what happened? I'm pretty positive everybody saw it. And it was a safety that comes off the field. Cam Lewis is the backup DB, comes onto the field, and they throw the ball directly at him. Bro, are you good? Are you good, bro? Are you straight? A little pause moment. Look, bro, get it together. We've got a show to do. Come on now. Got a show to do. But the play ends up going with the backup DB giving up the TD, and it's a safety. It's Cam Lewis. It's literally a safety on a receiver. Like, what do you think was going to happen? The same thing happens with receiver. You take one player off the field, and then Xavion goes in, and then Xavion doesn't make the play that you want, and all of a sudden he's a bum. No. Xavion was brought in for the same reason that they brought in Barry and Brown this year. Xavion's going to play, dog. Like, he's playing. It's just a matter of how much. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to play, 80% of your snaps, but can he play 30 of them? I think so. I mean, bro, okay. We're
about the DBs, dude?
We're gonna give me a second here. I'm proving my point because I want.
Okay, I'm back. We're good. I did see Pickett on the receiving end.
You good over there, guys? let's get it together now. Come on now. Oh, it was Judy, I guess, or maybe Ruggs. Could have been Ruggs. But anyway, that's kind of it's probably not my greatest comparison of all time, but that's what he ran. He literally gets on the field and sticks his foot in the dirt, goes out on a 2-yard route right to him. You knew it was going to happen. You're gonna think that Xavion will come onto the field and give you something less. Bro, I'm telling you, that dude is fast as lightning. That's a kickoff return specialist, a punt return specialist that you just have as a jackknife. Like, you have speed in spades, and last year you were begging for the speed. So with this whole ecology of receivers and DBs, dude. So you've now got DJ Pickett, who's a 5-star and who's like 9'4" and 3/4, getting picks. Bro, Xavion snagged a touchdown over him. You know what I'm saying? And Xavion could easily be considered your 5th guy, 6th guy, 4th guy. I mean, I don't know. So that's where I'm at with this team and the weapons, man. And again, I don't want to go too long-winded rather on that. I will say that the DBs are coming along. There's a couple of injuries that you don't love, like Jakeem Jackson's got, tape on the back of his hamstring, and he's been on the bike for 3 days. So that tells me that he's obviously dealing with some muscle cramps and soreness. And so I think anyone on the other side of Mansour is going to have to really have their P's and Q's about them, because is it Ashton Stamps? Probably. I don't think DJ Pickett is quite ready yet. Not to say that you couldn't stick him out there, but do you have? No, I don't. I think it's going to be Ashton Stamps, and I think he's going to play a lot. And you know who else? PJ Woodland. PJ Woodland's going to play. So I think you have quality depth, whereas before you had none of that. And I also think, and I'm going to cap this off with LSU because I know there's some other stuff that you want to get into, unless you want to comment back, bruh. You had a dearth where the safety should have been last year. Sage Ryan leaves and goes to Ole Miss. You now have your Jordan Gilbert every game starting safety now fully healthy, running basically second and third team star. Like Jordan Gilbert's going to play, but you've got freshman CJ Jim Coyley that's giving everybody fits. You've got 3 or 4 different fellas that you can throw in at the star. So like now that you've got now transfers in, I just don't know how you don't upgrade, man, from that defensive back room. You've got AJ Halsey, Tamarcus Cooley. Like let there be a leak out screen pass in the backfield. Watch AJ Halsey come down like a bat out of hell at 100 miles an hour, ready to rip off a face mask. Hopefully not for a penalty. I will freak out. But watch him be ready. Like you literally had safeties that avoided contact last year. How it is hauntingly shocking how different your safety room should look as it relates to 1 year going forward. That alone helps your cornerbacks. Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
Knowing that you've got people behind you to help you out, you know what I'm saying? And now, does that mean they're going to be a top 25 defense? No. But you went from 108th to 59th in 1 year with a dearth of talent and literally nothing on the defensive line. You had, a Paris Shand 5th-year senior converted from edge as your starting defensive tackle. Like, and now you've got, Bernard Gooden dog cussing folks and swim moving the entire practice, and he was the last person signed to your team.
I agree, imagine.
And not only the pass rush from the inside.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about that. Should help your secondary. Fingers crossed.
When you know that you've got a pass rush, and again, this is coming from a layman's perspective. You cannot put a price on a pass rush from the interior. You can't. And word of the wise, LSU is going to see that game 1. Get ready. Here comes Peter Woods.
I'm excited. I am, like that. That gets me going. I like if we can clean up the offensive line, have a pretty consistent run game, I think you have a very good shot to beat Clemson. But we saved that breakdown for next week because we've got a lot.
You think John Mateer has money on the game yet?
It's been a lot of wild stories in the SEC this week. Let's talk about Mateer. Obviously, photos. Someone had to just be bored as hell one day, but photos surfaced from a couple years ago of some Venmo transactions with him saying gambling or money line Mateer.
It's an inside joke, dude.
Inside joke. Look,
big inside joke guy. Money line Mateer.
Look, we'll see. I think we were discussing potentially laying a bet on him to lead the SEC in passing, but that story comes out. It's how can you now? Like, obviously, it's probably all a smokescreen, right? But what if
I will not be participating in that bet?
Yeah. What if something happens? So that leads you to not even want to do anything on that. And his odds were, he wasn't even projected to be in the top 10, I don't think. I think he was on the bottom 5.
You know who I'm not? I'm going to get real close here. You know who I'm not betting to lead an offensive statistical category this year, Anthony?
Is it some team in Alabama?
Did you see I texted you this morning before chest day. Did you see Hugh Freeze say that they're going to have a different play caller for first, second, and third down?
I had to double take, and I think like you're like, is this real? And then when you find out it's real, it's like, holy shit.
We took the.
I think we had them at 8-4, right?
We took them at the over.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a mortal lock to not do that. If you haven't locked that in yet, let's not do that.
It's an unconventional way. I will entertain it. I will entertain it only because it brings me to, back in the day when you were playing with your buddies online together in college football or Madden, and you were switching play calling, and someone might have a different perspective, someone might have a different feel. The fact that Hugh Freeze can override anything is a little scary, especially if he's on the wrong side of some calls. So interesting for sure. A fifth of what Delpit, yeah.
A fifth of Delpit. Granted,
all day.
Granted, and shout out to my boy Dylan, who's in I believe Broken Bow, Oklahoma right now. Shout out in a live in transit vacation edition of in the stream. That's a real solid friend of the show.
Stop by and see Moneyline Mateer on your way out.
See what the DraftKings has for you over there, and there was a tweet that said something about if only he had a Cash App, and the Twitter comments on that were immaculate. But I actually speaking of money, I actually don't want to go any further until we recognize the elephant in the room. We've gone now 33 minutes without talking about it. We're no longer going to do it. I want to talk about it. I want to bring it up. Not officially a full on podcast unless we shamelessly plug the wonderful brands that we love on this show. And the most recent one is an absolutely fantastic hat, as you can see. Let me go big screen here. Let me get close all over to you. Is the folks over at Web Western. And I'm actually really proud of this one. Web Western, if you don't mind me presenting really quick.
Floor is yours, dude.
So Web Western, guys, is a honestly not only just a clothing company, but if you're into the Western apparel, the ranch hats, the fishing hats, the owner, Dylan DM'd me right away. As soon as or rather I DM'd him and got a couple responses back. Guys, this guy is all about it. If you wanted to get into some headwear, and I mean these hats are fire. They are not only water resistant, but they repel the water. It's this interesting little soft technology. I've been wearing them at the gym, sweating in them, and have had almost no stain showing at all week. And I did legs already, so I was sweaty up in there. Little Bible scripture on the side. Super awesome people over there at Web Western, and we are incredibly excited to bring them on board. We are hoping to get an official advocate sponsorship from the show variety with a little call out here soon. But for inquiries, if you want to get yourselves a little hat, I actually am wearing the Straight Shooter Duck Club right now, and also this fire white frost camo. Look at that, dude. Look at that.
I like it.
Go that way over.
That's dope.
These hats are sick, y'all. And again, if you want to get into that, shoot me over a text, shoot me over a DM. For those of you that don't have too many questions, shoot me a DM. We'll get you a little percentage off there, a little discount, a little personal code there, y'all. So super excited to bring them on board.
No, 100%. Look forward to working with them in the future. And I mean, that camo hat looks sick. For sure.
Throw out the corn for the deer. He said he saw some deer earlier this morning. So,
hell yeah. Well, We talked about LSU. We talked about the play calling. I mean, I think just to close on the play calling, the report was Derek Nix was going to call plays on first down. Hugh was going to call him on second. And Ken Austin was going to call him on third. So, like, that's the unconventional style that we're seeing. I'm interested to see how it happens. It got a lot of buzz in the media today. Even a comment from Lane Kiffin saying, "So does a fourth coach call fourth downs?" Question mark.
He's such a troll, dude.
And Hugh Freeze, by the way, I mentioned this earlier, has the ability to override any play at any time. So we shall see how that goes. Game 1 or 2. I think they have a relatively. They open with Baylor.
Yep.
Any thoughts on the Michigan punishment schedule to come down tomorrow? I mean, we kind of expected this. I don't know what the predictions are leading to, but I mean, do they strip them of a playoff appearance? Like, what? How do you punish the boys for this season? Right? I mean, Harbaugh's gone. What do you do? What are your thoughts? Imagine while we go. I mean, I'm eager. I don't know how you do it. I know obviously it's been handled a few different ways in the past. Even as far as a tournament ban in another sport. So, what are your
I'm not
thoughts? I
sure.
guess. Yeah.
I'm not really sure, man, because I feel like every time we talk about this, it's always just a slap on the wrist. Like it's
Right.
never anything. Like you'll like what happened. I mean, you can't really.
I mean, someone's got to get the boomstick at some point.
So the big one, the big one, and this one hits close to home, is like the vacated wins for Les Miles, and so like, does that keep him out of the Hall of Fame? Like, I just. If they vacate the title, they vacate the title. Well, they still won it. So it's like, what do you
Yeah. I mean,
maybe a huge fine. I don't know how you can take away scholarships in the NIL world. I agree with that.
it's
To be
tough. Yeah,
honest, when you
it's a
have this,
massive gray area.
and they've got the
Sure.
CEO of Oracle out there ready to give them money. I don't
They're
really think that.
definitely. I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Not with
I think.
them.
I think we'll see what a several $1,000,000 fine.
They'll pay that. You'll get that in M&Ms and popcorn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm eager though. There will be a time where someone's got to be the example. You know, when that's going to be the case. I mean, if you go back to professional, just off topic. I mean, the Saints with Bounty case. I mean, like obviously a whole different scenario, and it's a different league, but. I don't know what you do. There's a lot. It's a gray area in college. I just think with kids rotating in and out, coaches, the variance in that. I don't know.
The again, the slap on the wrist thing, it's almost as if it's meant to be like that. Like it's like they pick and choose how badly they want to punish a team based on how much revenue they bring to the sport. I don't know. It never feels fair. Like when it's.
I mean, I think Harbaugh left for a reason, right? I mean, lifetime would be a huge example. That would be, I think, a little bit more on the aggressive side from what I think they'll do. But man, I'm interested for sure.
I mean, I don't know. I'm way more interested in this 38-page parlay that you have cooking up.
So obviously I've got a 4-figure parlay if you're willing to go on FanDuel and put a boost on it. God. Oh, who knows, dude? I'm interested to see that tomorrow. But two things on the betting perspective. One, this year I want to run the RNG step ladder. So I'm thinking, I haven't got the full details settled, but I'm thinking just as a very plain example, every week we'll cook up a plus 300 will be the target parlay. start with $10, roll over the profits every week, and see how far we can get up the ladder. And by doing that, you keep some money along the way. So we'll keep a separate record for that step ladder, and we'll have details on that for those that want to maybe do more than one a week. It'll be tough, but we'll never be over aggressive on that. 2, I cooked up a parlay, 13 legs, and look, I know there's your smart bettors out there that want to say, bet straight, man. Parlays suck. They're for suckers. We just do it to have fun, man. Like, we're looking, like, I'm not trying to be a sharp here. Like, it is what it is. Like, I think this is a fun parlay.
Big fun guy.
We'll put it on the books. I'll share the bet to anyone that's interested, but just to run down some of these legs, it's basically a lot of the teams that I feel confident in winning enough games to where you don't have to stress, right? Like, I think LSU at 8, for example. Can LSU go 8-4? I think their ceiling is 10-2. Can they just win 8 games? I think so. Penn State to win 10. With that schedule, if they don't win 10, I would be shocked. Texas to win 10. A little concerning. I mean, I think their schedule is very easy. I think the only big game they really have is Georgia, but if you want to throw A&M on there as well.
Ohio State.
Oh, and Ohio State, yeah. But that's fair. That's 3 games. You've got to go 2-1 in those, or 1-2 in those, to keep it at 10.
And I think that they do.
Clemson at 9 wins.
Something tells me they're going to win 9 games.
I give them grace because in case LSU does win, you have 2 other games that you have to survive, including South Carolina and the ACC schedule, which is not very strong. I've got A&M 7 regular season wins. Tough schedule. I think they get it done. I mean, I think we had them going 8-4. So take off one of those games we thought they win, and you're still okay. I'll speed through some of these other ones, though. BYU at 6 wins. I think they won 10 or 11 games last year. Will they make a bowl? I mean, they'll probably have a letdown year, but I think they'll still make a bowl game at BYU. They still have a very talented program there, and they play in the Big 12. Georgia Tech was someone we mentioned last week at 7.5. Us really liking the over on that. Dub it down to 7. That way you don't have to worry about the 7.5. Take them at 7 wins. South Carolina at 6 wins. Tough schedule again, but like they've got the talent to do it. Now, can South Carolina go 5-7 and absolutely bust this parlay up? I don't know. Did BYU lose their quarterback? Yes, they did. I mean, I think he went to Tulane, did he not? For breaching Mormon code. I mean, I'm pretty sure he went to Tulane. He went to a Louisiana school, I think.
Pretty sure he's at Tulane right now. I don't know if he's going to start or not, but yeah.
Look, like I said, I mean, it's not me looking like, hey, I'm a sharp on the BYU football lines here, but like they won 11 or 10 games last year. Will they make a bowl game? Basically, is what you're betting on. I think they will because the Big 12 has a lot of variance, and it shouldn't be tough to get to 6. There's going to be a lot of close games. So South Carolina at 6, Florida State at 6. I feel a little bit iffy on this one, but if you can't get 6 wins in the ACC as a top 3 school, what are we doing? Missouri at 6, just for the schedule. Wisconsin at 5, Coastal Carolina at 5, UCF at 5, and Duke at 6.
Florida State scares me the most out of all of them.
Look, it is what it is. It was just a fun parlay. You've got 13 teams on here. If you need the bet slip, definitely let us know. We'll share it to you. I think you have until the first day of week 0 to get that out, and we can also post the slip on our social media pages, which we will do. So $10 with a 25% boost wins $1,136. So that bet will be on the card. It's just a fun thing to keep up with throughout the year. And like I said, we will keep up with our step ladder as well. I'm very much looking forward to that. I think if we stick to it and stay consistent and pick the right ways, when maybe close to 5 figures if we stick to it and climb the ladder. So
I just placed mine.
So yeah, if you need the slip, let me know. I'll send it out. If not, that's it from the betting perspective. And I think that will put a bow tie on the show today. Any last words from you, Coach?
Dude, super excited, man. I'm so excited. Not only for for the new sponsorship or the personal sponsorship, hopefully show sponsorship to be coming here soon. But also for football season in general, man. It's just such a it is such a dark like abyss of like waiting and wondering. You're getting tweets in the middle of the game, in the middle of the show about O-line possibly injured for teams and what is it going to look like for game one. I don't know if you saw that or not, but there was a tweet that like there was an offensive lineman for Clemson that it was held out of practice because of, Dabo said he'd be ready to go, and now all of a sudden everyone's like, oh my god, Clemson's going to have an offensive lineman hurt, oh my god, we might win by 5. And it's like, okay, hold on. Like, we are so desperate as a society for college football that it's haunting to think that we've gone this far without it. It feels like it's been an eternity.
Yeah.
And we still have all next week. But the good news is that for after week 0 happens, we do have football like starting on is it Thursday for week 1, or is not Wednesday though, right?
I think it's Thursday.
Yeah. So we'll literally have week 1 football, going on throughout half the week. So super, super excited. And I will again be beachside, be a big beachside guy that weekend. May even go live from the beach. You know what I mean? So that'd be pretty cool. But super, super excited.
Last thought: top 3 week 0-1 games looking forward to.
Jesus, is there 3 that we love? I know there's 2.
I think just for putting the week 0 game up that we've talked about, it's Iowa State, Kansas State. Is that the game?
Mm-hmm, but there's one more though.
That's the big game on week 0.
Correct. That's the big one.
That's the big one. So like, if you want to put that there for just, hey, football starting, obviously LSU Clemson.
Dude, I'm kind of excited to see Andrew Luck on the side for Stanford. Stanford plays at Hawaii. I kind of want to see that game be. I kind of want to see 63 to 104. Dude,
Hawaii will be the game. That game will be fun because if you're a degenerate, that's going to be like the only game on at 7 or 8 o'clock that night, and you're just looking for something to try and make up for probably a crappy day of betting.
That's gonna be awesome.
So, yeah, I'd say Texas, Ohio State too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Texas, Ohio State,
LSU, Clemson, and let's throw in Hawaii and Stanford because yellow.
There's also the lens for that first game that I think is kind of like fallen by the wayside a little bit because of all the other ranked matches. But dude, we're getting Notre Dame in Miami too.
That's a good game.
And not only are you getting Notre Dame in Miami, but you're also getting it in the Sunday window at night. So that's that 6:30 LSU game that they've been playing for the last few years.
Glad we are not in that window. And we're off Monday, or most people will be off Monday, I guess, for the holiday. But yeah, no, looking forward to it, man. Looking just forward to football in general. But yeah, no. Shout out Clay. Shout out Imagine. Shout out Tyler. Shout out Smallcraft US. And if I missed you, I apologize. Thank you all for being in the chat and interacting with us. Like and subscribe. And we'll see y'all next week, man.